Alright. KNO server farm, I guess. Really want to get that money first. Maybe I'll sell that charge pack. I think I'm going to sell the charge pack.
I've got something you might be interested
Yeah.
in. I need a quick decision. This thing's hot. We should do business more often.
I'm not a fan of how when you go into the buy-sell menu it has 8 slots, but you can only actually have 4 things in storage.
This is a data center that handles network security for the region. We can find programs here that will give Incognita some new tricks to use in the field.
Coordinates locked. Ready to engage transporter beam.
Okay. I can't remember if I encountered much in the way of turrets in that fateful first run, but turrets are fascinating and potentially hilarious in the early missions when guards aren't armoured. Anyway, yeah, Prism's gotten their extra 2 AP just from being around while we hack that first thing, and there's probably nothing around this corner. Okay. Ooh. Hello. I believe we have ourselves a law auction.
Interesting. They have a lot of on-site databanks here. Might be worth a search.
I think I mentioned before that Invisible Ink, most of its lore is front-loaded into the character selection screen. But there are a handful of little collectible things you can find. They're all added in the Contingency Plan DLC, and you get them as an optional objective in missions by doing, well, this bullshit. Now that man is stationary, but I have no idea who else is going to show up to try and make my day interesting. The other thing with turrets is that when you hack them, I believe you can use them like cameras, but you need to also hack the generator that's attached to them. It also has a demon on it, but like, I feel lucky. Yep, great. So now, if we toggle this on, we get to see it. We get to see it. When they have a much more limited cone of vision as compared to cameras. Unfortunately, now that it's powered on, it will shoot any guard that tries to walk in front of it, which is potentially not ideal. I was really hoping to be able to walk Prism up to the console. Because if somebody walks through that door, then everything's going to go to hell. And of course there's whatever's going on up here. We're probably going to have to KO this guy. Even with the cloaking rig, it's going to be a hell of a thing to get anybody past him. Such is procedural level generation. See, it's a party down here. See what happens when I listen to my cautious instincts as opposed to my fun, content-producing ones? Well, okay. That's a hell of a patrol. What to do with all this? I believe we can hide on either of the sides of this, and neither of those guys will... Oh, I don't know, actually. That guy is going to be walking diagonally towards us, so he might actually be able to see on that sight line. But not, I think, on this one. And we'll send Internash, who has the cloak. Now, what we have to do with these things, we have to hack them, and it takes 3 turns to do that.
I'm sending you a worm virus. Install it at the terminal, and it'll stream data back to us.
You will note that International is currently pictured as literally stood up and typing at this keyboard, but I can assure you that as far as the game mechanics are concerned, she is behind cover right now. Let's just... Oh, yeah, security card, oh, and a charge pack, and some money. Thanks, God. And now let's just... Let's close the door and then peek through it, rather than stand next to the open door, because that will give us 1 more AP to use to dig around in that room next turn. Anyone else? I'll get... power on that. Well,
From that sample data packet, traces of Invisible came up. If we've got time, wiping us from all these drives might be a wise choice. We may even recover some of our stolen archives.
I like that there's an animation for this guy just sat there, like, not even sat down, just stood up in the middle of a hallway looking at his phone, but somehow doing his job. Now, as for what to do about these jugglefucks. Notably, we don't have to have one agent remain here the whole time doing the hacking. We can move everyone about as long as somebody finishes their turn typing on the keyboard. We will gain our chunk of progress. Now, I would very much like to rule out having to stick around down here. Oh god, that's annoying. Could send Prism with the pass card. Oh, and he's going, oh, wow, this is a weird one. But this does actually help me somewhat. Yeah, you're all being very weird. And I don't know how I feel about it, but... you're being weird in a way in which I feel I can exploit. I'm gonna unlock this door, but not open it, because if we open it, he'll notice and that will just raise logistical concerns. As I suspected, there's not really very much down here. that man's going to go over there, and that man's going to walk down there. We can pickpocket them both. And we can continue being the elite hacksaws all the while. And just get me some power. International is so good at multitasking, she doesn't even need to stop hacking in order to interface wirelessly with the console. Now, yeah, and good thing too, because this guy's armored. This guy's heavily armored. Right. Oh, that honestly worked out pretty tidily. You know, could stand to have discovered some more hackables in the meantime.
One down.
Now, there is no way around having to violence this guy, and this is going to cause trouble. What I think we might benefit from doing I can tell you for a fact we are not going to be violencing all three, because one of them has level 2 armor and we can't even deal with level 1 armor. However, we do have exactly enough AP to drag this guy out of this room. And like, these guys are, they have some AI related tendencies, but they will not notice that entire guards have gone missing. Oh, possibly I might have actually... Oh man, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like if we ran Prism up here, that we would actually totally get away without being spotted at this point. But... oh man... Oh, wait a minute. You know what we can do is we can use our last turn of 1 power hacking, and we can hack this thing, we can activate net downlink, even get a bonus power out of it, and we can just run the whole way up to that console.
Second drive
Hell
is
yeah.
infected.
And then we can just kind of forget about down here, because this guy's going to wake up and he's going to be like, hey, what happened? And he's going to start hunting. But unless the other 2 guys actually either see him go down or like come across his unconscious body, they will not themselves go into alert. Because, intelligence?
activated. Surveillance level increased.
Now, this is slightly of an impatience thing, but I don't like having to spend any more time in this room than I have to. And we're gonna get stuck down here anyway, because these guys are gonna have to go through a whole other cycle, and we're gonna need to get out of there because we need 3 turns to do this. And where is all the hackables? Alright, there's a camera down there. Hello? What even is that? Is that a demon database? It's usually not a bad idea. I mean, it's less of an issue now because we're very early on and there aren't a lot of demons, but... Also, I guess it is notable that because of Prism's refraction chamber, we get 2 power per turn. We get 1 power per turn up to 2 when we break a firewall. So, hacking a single firewall, if there is only 1 firewall on the device, still actually only costs 1 power if we only hack 2. So that's nice. I can't tell if... This game can be very weird about the door detection thing. Yeah. Ah, there's the last... whatever, the data bank. Ah. Safe, and the drone. And these are lethal laser beams. We cannot cross them. Like, the game literally will not let us. I think it's not actually possible for your agents to actually finally die. I don't know if turrets can kill them. I think turrets are lethal, but I don't really know how that works. But I have the feeling that it's not actually possible for agents to die. In any case, in order to actually go through the lethal laser beams, we have to turn them off, or we can drag an unconscious guard through it. That is also acceptable, because the laser beams turn off the guards, or at least their bodies. Right. Oh, this isn't going as quickly as I'd like, but, you know. Oh, right. Pulse drone.
What the?
Oh, no.
Hey!
Okay, right, fine, violence. I cannot believe I forgot that. That was a pulse drone and not a camera drone.
That's too clean.
Anyway, as a weird AI quirk, you might recall that this guard who's just woken up was originally stationed at this exact point. But their AI means that when they wake up, they will create a hunting point on wherever they were when they went down, But that's like one tile off to the side because we KO'd him with melee, and a melee KO drags him onto your location. So, you know, that's a weird one. Anyway, fine. There's not a whole lot of point in us going up there. Plenty of consoles here, but I think what we might do is avail ourselves of... yeah. The real payoff from hacking drones isn't necessarily being able to control them, but it's really more being able to use them to scout. Yeah. See, that's about what I thought was going to be the deal here. Well, due to the annoying fashion of this level, we're going to have to spend a bunch of time getting to that last databank, and that guard is going to be able to just walk up there. Anything else, like literally anything else to do? Nope. Okay. Now, those guys are all gonna remain on their patrols. This guy, I have no idea what this guy is gonna do. He's gonna be running around down here somewhere, so we're gonna have to keep an eye out. And I can't help but notice the lack of cameras. And I don't think these guys can open. Yeah, they can't open past car doors. And he's gonna wake up. Well, he's gonna go to sleep. That drone is gonna get knocked out. And he's gonna wake up in as much of a fuss as the guards would be, so we'll just leave him to that. If need be, we can hack it again. I'm honestly kind of given a degree of hope by how linear this is, because there can't be that much more of this level left. Yeah, see, the drone is now rebooting, and its first order of business is going to be scanning the point where it went down. Or is that the guard? I mean, the guard and the drone both went down in the same place. I think the difference is largely incidental at this point. Now, Prism has the security key. And that's a camera. That's also a camera. How annoying. And I can't get either of these guys to the exact correct point on that console. This guy, oh, he's not going to come in here this turn. We can, however, open this, and then Prism can get a pretty good look at the remainder of that room. This is pretty tidy, actually. The whole rest of the level and the objective is going to be up here, and then we have a reasonably straight shot to the elevator afterwards, and if we're very lucky, then this guy might just decide to piss about down here for the rest of the mission. Ah. I was wondering where literally all of the safes were. Right. Oh, she's probably fine? I really hope she's fine. Honestly, where is the power supply for that laser wall?
Investigating area.
Oof. Cut that one entirely too fine. Really wish there were some cameras down here. Like, I only have the vaguest sense of what this guy's doing. He could be about to bust up here any second now and mess literally all of my plans up. I think there probably aren't going to be a lot more guards here, though. I don't like the power situation. We've taken too long to do this, and now everything's...
The server terminal is in that room.
Oh,
It would be a shame to leave it undisturbed.
consoles. And console database.
Keep your wits about you.
And a facility database. We've got all the... Was that all the databases in this mission? Yeah, because this was the demon database. Oh right, no, there's also a camera database, which we haven't seen. Oh well. Well, I guess we're going to have to deal with that next turn. And Internash can stay there and keep an eye out, although if enemies come too far into that room, there won't actually be any good way to run, so that's potentially very annoying.
Good, that's all of them. Grab that disk of recovered data. Even though we just got it back, it might be prudent to find someone willing to trade it for some credit.
Now that we've hacked all 3 of the data banks, we get a data card. If we can bring the data card out of the mission, it will give us a piece of lore, which is basically just an intel file about something to do with one of the agents. More importantly, it'll get us 500 credits. And like, this right here is the universe speaking to me again. I know we're not getting a power, but I'm not walking International up there. And okay, the demon on this, Portcullis, is a contingency plan 1. It means every time you use a program, it breaks 2 less firewalls than it would have, but it can't reduce it below 1, and Rapier only reduces 1 at a time anyway. So, whatever. And that's about what we got. What's our... Okay, yeah, we have a non-zero amount of money. I feel like cranking that up a tiny bit more. Oh, hey. Well, I guess I am running International up here. I thought she was much further away than she actually was. Oh, that wasn't very optimal of me, was it? Alright, let's see what Shopcat's got for us. We have another rapier, okay. And dagger 2.0 again. Wow, we've got plenty of things. Oh yes, yes. Oh yes. Oh, Shopcat, I love you. I mean, I love all cats, but I love Shopcat especially right now. Okay. Wings, I think we've seen before. I think in the last run that we don't talk about. It's more AP. 1 power to get more AP. Yeah. Lockpick V2 is a much more efficient version of the program you can start the game with. It's 3 power for 2 firewalls, no questions. Dagger, I think, is literally we had before. It's 5 firewalls for 3 power, which is incredible, but it has a 4-turn cooldown. Notably, when Rapier starts getting more expensive, these start becoming like seriously invaluable. Hammer is kind of like Dagger, and that is very efficient, but it's 5 for 5. It's less efficient than Dagger, but it cools down faster. I'm kind of tempted. Brimstone has a comedy option. It's a shit program. It's 1 firewall for 3 power, which isn't very good, but it gives you... I don't think we've ever seen it come up yet, but ordinarily when a demon activates, there is a 10% chance that it will reverse itself and turn into something beneficial. If you have Brimstone, that chance increases to 20%. That's 1 in 5. And finally, the single most utilitarian program in this entire game, Ping. It makes a noise. It sends the guards to investigate the noise. I love Ping. Ping has saved runs. So, yeah. I am definitely going to buy Ping. This is not up for negotiation. The question is, I can afford 1 more of either Lockpick 2, Dagger 2 or Hammer. And I feel like Dagger's very good. It's great on the utility. Hangs out pretty decently later. I don't like Hammer. I think it's not as efficient, even with the cooldown. So the question is, do I want Lockpick, which is going to be a lot more useful earlier on, especially because it's 2 for 3. It's always 2 for 3. It's going to really come into its own, and it has no cooldown. Like, it's roughly half as efficient as Dagger, but we can spam it. Oh, and I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to go with Dagger. Why do I think that? It's less spammable. You can only use it once every so often. It's ruthlessly efficient. By the time we get to using it, saving power isn't really going to be much of a concern. But it does mean that every time we do it, we generate 1 power. But no, it's Dagger. I'm just going to stop overthinking this. If I was playing on my own, I would sit here and think for at least 20 more minutes, but we are live. I have an audience to worry about.
New daemons came online the second the connection dropped. I knew we couldn't trust that damn cat.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Pity you can't get that gear anywhere else.
There is a bunch of backstory regarding Monster and Shopcat, and like why nobody trusts Shopcat. The game makes a point of never ruling out the possibility of Shopcat being like an actual cat that like uploaded its consciousness onto the internet. Like, I don't know why it's it's so insistent on not ruling that out. It's like a whole thing. Anyway, Monster really does not like Shotcat because of a thing in which Shotcat insisted on providing their services in one of Monster's territories, in violation of a pact that they had made. There is a nanofab and a secondary server terminal and a console and a whole other camera up here. Like, we can't even buy things at this point, but... well... oh, I'm gonna need to get over there first. Where's the... oh, there's a safe as well. There's the camera. We have extra power to play with. I need the camera. Oh, hell, and the safe has paradox on it. Oh, boy. See, this right here should have fucking bought lockpick too. This is what I'm getting at here. So, we can effortlessly hack one of these, which I think is probably going to have to be the camera, and then we can spend... like, that's one safe and it has paradox on it. I'm not feeling it, I can't lie. I can then spend 6 more power hacking the nanofab. And like, do I even care? Like, the nanofab might have something in it, but we've only got 250 credits, and the only other safe here has paradox on it, and I don't want to deal with that. Possibly in a pinch, we can sell some of the stuff that we're carrying, so I'm just going to walk Prism up here. We're going to spend 2 more turns up here, and somebody might come down there, but hey, I don't know if I forgot to mention it at the time, but like, we did just buy a new program that serves absolutely no purpose except for messing with the... oh, come on! Well, whatever, this is really actually not a disaster, it's just kind of funny in how it looks. But we actually can peek in here. Really? We're supposed to be able to peek in there and see what he's doing. Well, first of all, let's check the goods. Piercing scanner, rubbish. Vault disruptor 1, rubbish. Oi, well, EMP pack 2, that's a big EMP, shuts down a lot of stuff, and a portable server is a nifty item. You drop it somewhere and it generates power for you, but you have to pick it up again. Or you can leave it in the mission and evacuate, but you'll lose it. Unfortunately, the data card is worth 500, but we won't get the lore, and I want the lore. Whatever. Not today. And I don't think we will be investigating the server terminal. So what we're going to do is international, just in case the guy comes out there. When a new guard spawns, I think I mentioned this, they start with an interest point, which they will walk to, and then they will go on a patrol route of some kind, which we will... we don't get to know in advance, but it's out there somewhere and he'll go to it. We can only observe him once per turn. Here we go. Okay, yeah, there he goes. We could just shank him. Like, I can't lie, I am feeling pretty fucking done with all this.
You see that?
I don't know, did you see that? Anyone else pissing about down here? What I really don't like, this guy. That guy might be about to fuck a lot of things up, but fortunately, we've done everything we need to. We can just get to the exit, and if he decides to come in here and fuck everything up with his sightlines, we are capable of dealing with that. Space watched. Okay, I really don't know what's going on here, because he's got sightlines coming out of that door. And Internash is not nearly able to deal with that. Unless she sprints. Okay. We can deal with this by exploiting the fact that the enemy is tenacious, but they have a very short memory. So unless the game is actually lying to me about this space not technically being watched, in which case, for the record, I still have a plan. What we can do is we can sprint into Nash the whole way in here. Right, see? I fucking thought the game was probably lying to me. Anyway, Prism is ideally positioned to just close this door in his face. Internash can continue fucking with everything.
Hey, investigate.
And he's like, hey, what's going on? But as long as the last thing that he saw was this door, really? Well, he should be having that in his peripheral vision, but whatever. I have still got this.
What was that?
Didn't even need ping.
Hey, you okay?
You're standing on your friend, mate. That's... Whatever. Well, this was a good mission. I mean, it sure as hell didn't feel like that,
The more tools we
but
have at our disposal, the better.
big fan of our software loadout, though. Look at that. We spent a bunch of money, but we actually came out of this with a profit. Now, we get our 500 credits from selling the data pack. I think I might actually have gotten all the archives. I don't know what order they come in. The last one I got was Centrals, which feels like it really ought to be the last one. I feel like if International is going to be carrying around that cloaking rig, then she should have an extra storage space. Well, I could buy more stuff. I could buy another point of anarchy. I could get her that extra speed point. There's all kinds of things that I want. I would have to sell the charge pack to do it, and I don't really have any use for charge packs right now. I think I'm going to get her the extra point of anarchy. You can...
Me and Gladstone go way back. She ever tell you how we met? I was her chief tech officer in the Pan-Euro Cyber Interdiction Force. We put up a good fight, but it was a dead cause. In the end, the corporations just had the most toys.
Surprise law.
Arbitrage is a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Anyway, let's make prison more anarchic.